Yes, guys, it's the final episode. The final episode of What If Naruto. Fused with Minato, Kushina, and Kurama, guys. I just want to say thank you. Yes, it's been an amazing ride. And I just want to say thank you for sticking along and thank you for, enjoying. It's been amazing, guys. I can't be more grateful to you guys. However, as you know, there is no need to be sad because new what ifs are coming soon enough for you guys to enjoy. Yes, more what ifs are coming up right away. I already posted some brand new episodes on the other channels, so go ahead and enjoy those, guys. So yeah, stay in tune for the rest of what ifs coming your way, and I also posted what if over on Anime King too. Anime King and Anime Prince, guys, so go ahead, check them out, and yeah, enjoy. So without further ado, let's begin this final episode. Begin now, guys. So the last spot we left off, Naruto gave Konan a quick death, as she couldn't put up with it anymore, so he ended her, taking her away from all this pain. With that said and done, Naruto got to work. Immediately Rhino charged towards him as Naruto vanished with Konan's body. He was gonna give her a proper burial. Once Naruto came back, he met up with Jiraiya. As Jiraiya realized there was no other way to end this than ending Nagato. So with that, him and Naruto started to take on the paths. Black Zetsu came across all of this as he found an opportunity that he never thought that he would have. So with that, he moved in. As the battle between them commenced, despite Naruto and Jiraiya, not having that sense of partnership together, they work really well. As Naruto decided to kick it up a notch by entering Sage Mode, granting Jiraiya enough time to enter his own Sage Mode. However, Naruto was enough. Already knowing so much about the abilities of the paths, Naruto was able to take them down one after another. Absolutely none of them stood a chance against him. Naruto bulldozed through them except when it came to Tendo, as Jiraiya joined back into the fray, knocking away the revival path, causing Naruto to end him. Tendo went mad, as he seemed to have lost his mind. Konan was dead. He created a gigantic spear and threw it in the sky. As Naruto charged up one of his most powerful techniques and launched it forward, the thing exploded as rock and debris fell everywhere. In that moment, Naruto used his full speed and ended Tendo. However, the body had collapsed before it hit it though. Something was wrong, so they rushed towards where the main tower was. Arriving there, they found the dead body of Nagato. Having no idea what the hell happened, but they had to move because rain ninjas were coming. So they quickly returned. Upon returning back towards the village, Naruto explained everything to me about everything that happened. However, the problem was who took the eyes, as Nagato's eyes had been removed completely. Weeks passed after that, as Obito was in for the shock of his life when Madara Uchiha arrived. Obito couldn't believe it. It turns out that Zetsu had used Nagato in his weakened state to revive Madara. Nagato had died too early, his body gave out, and Madara was not fully revived. No, he was not, so it took him a few weeks to get back on his feet. Yes, his body was severely weakened, so it took him a while to get back on his feet. However, the moment he had the strength to move, he was on the warpath. He told Obito how disappointed he was in him for failing to capture the Theobesis. However, it doesn't matter, it's about time that he started to get to work. He first popped up for Yujito, as he took her away without any little hesitance or difficulty. None of them stood a chance. As he then went after Aisabu, as Naruto felt Aisabu calling him. However, Madara had placed the beast under a genjutsu using his Rinnegan. As Naruto arrived there and clashed with a man not knowing exactly who it was. However, to Naruto's surprise, Madara was able to push him back. Naruto stood there with a shocked look on his face as he saw the man in all of his glory and might, as he couldn't believe it. Anger swelled inside of him from the emotions from Kurama as he wanted to rip his face off. He was confused how Madara was here as he saw Obito. He shouted out to him, but Obita ignored him and sucked Madara away in a swirling vortex along with the three tails, saying that he didn't have time for that, but Madara told him that he was looking forward towards their glorious battle. Naruto quickly rushed back towards Kiri. He had to keep Fu and Utakata close. He wouldn't let a single soul in this world touch Fu. If they want to touch her, they will have to go through him, and he would murder every single one of them. It turns out that Sasuke was also taken by the masked man as well, who had revealed the truth to Itachi about him, so right now Sasuke was on the warpath for the Hidden Leaf. Problem was arising everywhere all over, and this was really bad. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the playcheck of yourself, and what do you say we finish up this final episode and jump right into it guys? Begin now guys. Today was a very special day. It has been a long time since this happened. The meeting of all 5 Kages. The problem had become really bad. Uchiha Madara was going around the elemental nation kidnapping Bijus. He had taken the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5 tails by himself with little to no effort. There was just 4 more left, and he would be coming after them very soon. The problem that Madara had arise once again was truly baffling to many ninjas. The ghost of the Uchiha was back on his feet, a terrifying sight. That is why a meeting was called between the 5 Kages. All the Kages who are currently showing up at the moment. Gaara of the desert along with his siblings. Tsunade Senju along with Guy and Kakashi. The teacher Kage Oniki along with Kurasuke and Akizuki. The Raikage along with C and Darui. Mei Terume was backed up by Ayo and Naruto Uzumaki. However, she had more entourage with her, because Naruto had seen it fit to bring along the 6 and 7 tails Jinchuriki with him, yes. Fu was here. Fu was looking quite cautious as he was sticking close to Naruto. Utakata knew that he was powerful, but he knew that he wasn't strong enough to fend off against someone like Madara. Mei knew that this would cause some problems between the other Kages because the rule was they were supposed to have 2 guards. However, they had something that the others lacked, information. Naruto had the most information here, so they would have to calm themselves in order to get that information. But she was right. They were the latest ones there. The moment they stepped inside, all eyes turned towards them, as they were led there by one of the samurais. The leader of the samurais, Mifune, turned his gaze towards them as he saw the entourage. Almost everyone recognized Naruto, as he stand out quite well. Fu had been plastered up in the bingo book, as Taki had taken great measures trying to get her back when Naruto was a wandering ninja. However, after they had their little discussion with Taki, well, they stopped and removed her from the bingo book. But the ninja still knew her, after all she was a Jinchuriki. Kiri was the only village that possessed so much tail beasts. Granted, no one knew about 9 tails except for a very select few. Mei gave them all a greetings with a pleasant nod and a smile. Noticing the other bodyguards up in the podium, she turned towards Naruto and gave him a nod. Upon doing so, him, Utakata, and Fu flashed up there, followed by Ayo. Ayo and Naruto were supposed to be her original guards, as she was quite confident with them by her side. She had left Takashi, her cousin at the village, to run things while she was gone. While Takashi was a strong person, he more specialized in, well, politics, and he had a powerful mind. So there was no question about him keeping the village stable until she returned, as everyone had wished them luck. The moment they all seated, Mifune gestured for all of them to remove their hats, which they did, and place on the table in front of them. Upon doing so, Mifune spoke up. The Hokage has called this meeting, he said, so I believe she should be the first one to address the problem that we are currently facing at the moment. Yes, Tsunade was the one to call the meeting. She saw it fit to do so, given the threat was from, well, her village. However, Oniki spoke up. Before that happened, he said, I would like to know why the Mizukage did not seem it fit to list the rules about only bringing 2 bodyguards. If I'm not mistaken, everyone else here applied to the rules. Well, Tishikage-dano, said Mei, in her usual soft, elegant tone, those 2 ninjas up there are not normal. Both of them are Jinchurikis, From my village, she said. Given the dire situation at the moment, I am sure even the Raikage has the 8-tailed Jinchuriki locked away somewhere safe, knowing about the threat that is currently taking place. As the Raikage simply nodded, he wasn't so against this idea. The problem was Madara was going crazy attacking anywhere he could for the Jinchurikis. And having the Akatsuki with their hands on all the tail beasts, there was no doubt what they could do with that power. Still, that is not an exception to the rule. Hide them away or seal them away somewhere. Bringing them here is putting more of a target on our head. I understand, she said. I know the threat of Madara coming back scare us all. Scare? Said Anki with a scoff. This threat is just that, a threat. A long since dead man that have somehow come back to life in some way, which I still do not fully believe. Think that he can go around doing all that he wants. However, I will not stand for this. I will see to it that my 2 Jinchurikis are returned, and I put an end to this assailant. Do you truly believe that you can face off against a man that waged war against the first Hokage, and was almost his equal? Somebody that was said to be the god of a shinobi nation. Before Oniki could speak, Tsunade spoke up. Trust me, this is not any joke or anything. I know you don't take much my word, but at the moment I don't really care. Madara is back and he's a bigger threat than any of us thought. There's also another Uchiha out there, who's also another threat. The entire Akatsuki members has not been dealt with yet. Most of them had died, but there are still other members out there. So I'm guessing you can see the dilemma that we have. Gathering all the tail beasts, containing that much power by one madman, who once tried to burn the entire Hidden Leaf village. Now he's after all the power in the nation. Do you have any idea what kind of sick twisted things he would do with that power? Oniki said nothing, but he just frowned, as he did not know. If I may, said Mei, speaking up. I believe I know someone that has the answer for your questions. Who? Said Gaara, speaking up for the first time. Mei glanced up as she made a motion immediately and Naruto was beside her. Gaara looked towards the man that had saved him, as he was a part of the rescue team. However, this was the first time he was officially meeting him. However, to that end, he was using this to try and gain a better understanding with the Kiri Shinobis and their leader, to try to form some sort of alliance. Tsunade smiled upon seeing Naruto. Onki frowned. The Raikage was neutral about the whole thing. As he spoke, Naruto, he said, as Oniki noticed how he addressed him. Do you happen to know what they are doing with the tail beasts? Yes, I do, said Naruto. They're trying to revive something that's been not seen for a very long time now. And what might that be? Oniki said, looking towards Naruto like he did not believe him. The 10 tails. The 10 tails. What exactly is that? Given from the name, bringing all of the tail beasts together, it will bring forward a new tail beast. Something that is able to end this world as we know it. Oniki scoffed. Granted, the tail beasts are indeed powerful, but I don't believe their power can end the world. That's because you have no idea what I'm talking about, said Naruto. The 10-tail is the progenitor of Chakra, a beast that is known to be able to wipe out lands, split the earth and drink the ocean. A beast with unimaginable strength and power that is almost limitless. And how do you know this? I have gathered a ton of information from the past that's passed through history, and I've gathered this information, pooled them all together to gain the main source of the Akatsuki plans. Not to mention, I'm the only one here that has faced off against Madara Uchiha and the other Uchiha by myself, said Naruto. The room was shocked by that. You fought them, said Gaara. When he went after the 3 tails, I was too late. However, I did make an encounter with them, and I can assure you that is their plan. I'm not sure what exactly they will do with the 10 tails, but with that kind of power, he will have enough power to annihilate every village with a single blast from the 10 tails. And with that power under his control, we will all fall, one by one, said Naruto. The room became ominous at his words. And to prevent this, we just need to keep the last few remaining Jinchurikis out of his hands, said Gaara. Naruto nodded. But if I'm counting correctly, we're still missing one, he said, turning towards the Hokage. The Nine Tails had still not recovered, he said. So there is nothing that we should worry about. That power has still not returned back to this realm yet. Tsunade was worried, not knowing what to say. Kakashi noticed that she stuttered a bit. Kakashi knew what was going on, but he didn't have any full detail, but he was sure that that person down there was Naruto somehow. However, he was left out of the loop. Actually, said Naruto, the Nine Tails is with us as well. What? Said Oniki. Are you telling me that Kiri has 3 Jinchurikis? Yes. Where is the Nine Tails? Oniki said. You're looking at him, said Naruto. What? You are the Nine Tails Jinchuriki? Wait. So you are the child that fell off the bridge. But how is this possible? That is a whole long explanation that I'm not going to go into at the moment, said Naruto. But all you should know is the Nine Tails is safely protected by me. How can we be so sure of any of your words? Oniki said. Not to mention, you did formally steal the 7 Tails Jinchuriki from Take and bully them in some way to give her up to you. If we have any chance of preventing this 10 Tails revival, then I see one way of ending this before it can even start. Granted, it's not even yours to take as you see fit. You also went and steal a 9 Tails. I don't know why the Hokage would allow you to do something like that. But I think it's best if you hand over the 7 Tails back to Take. What? For you to get your hands on her, said Naruto. If not that, then she must be sacrificed for the betterment of man. Oniki was cut off. The moment he said the word sacrifice, every single bodyguard jumped down. Because of the power that Naruto released. Trembling was all over the room. Even Mifune had to get up, but yet he felt like his knees were jelly. As the place started to rumble, raw, uncontrollable power leaked from Naruto. What did you just say? He asked Oniki. Oniki found sweat building on his forehead as he felt like he was standing up to a monster, crushing down on him with his might. He felt his breath getting shallow and weak. How was this mere boy doing this to him? Naruto, said Mei. Calm down. As the power slowly started to recede, the room was frazzled by that. Kurosaki hands were still shaking. Kakashi was shocked not knowing that Naruto possessed this amount of power. Gaara couldn't believe it. How could someone be this strong? It was impossible. No one will be sacrificed. The safest place for her and Utakata right now is with me. I'm sure that the right Kage has his brother somewhere protective. All you have to worry about is ending Madara, and once that is over, the threat is done with. Ending Madara. Those words have been said in the past. However, it's been harder to bring into reality. Naruto slowly turned as a rift opened up right behind him. Out of that rift stepped several individuals. The first was the masked man. Next to him was the Uchiha himself that just spoke. To his side, Kakashi's eyes widened. Sasuke? Sasuke was standing there as well. His Sharingan already activated. Kisame stepped out with a grin on his face, followed by Kakezu as well, as they were the last remaining members of the Akatsuki. Mifune snapped his head towards him, wondering how could they have gotten in here without anyone noticing, as he then realized that technique was some kind of space distortion technique. As Sasuke glanced around the room, before his eyes settled on Tsunade, rage was on his face. However, Madara spoke, interrupting that, as everyone picked themselves up. I am glad, Naruto Uzumaki. You have brought me all that I have seek right here for me to just take. Granted, I'm impressed in your confidence, believing that you can possibly hold me back from my goals. Our battle will be glorious after this, but first, I'm here to take the pieces, and then, I want the 8 tails. The way he said it, it just pissed the Raikage off like he deserved it. The Raikage powered up to 100%. He burst right through the table. A fist was aimed towards Madara's face. However, said fist was cracked against a strange blue glow that appeared in front of Madara's face. The Raikage fist was able to crack it and started breaking until Madara lashed out and slammed a fist into his gut. throwing the man back. He crashed right into the wall. As all hell broke loose, Sasuke rushed straight after Tsunade, seemingly like he was gonna kill her. The look in his eyes, the way he moved, yes, he was going to kill her. Everyone else spread out. Obito moved forward. Kakashi and Guy moved to protect their Hokage. All the other bodyguards got into fighting position. Kisame, Kakazu moving in. Naruto and Madara eyes lock. Both Jinchurikis were behind Naruto. "Do it," said Naruto. Both Fu and Utsugata placed their hands on his back rather quickly. Upon doing that, they teleported away. "Where did you send them?" said Madara as he looked towards Naruto. "Somewhere safe from you," said Naruto. "You know, I'm actually glad that you're here. It saved me the trouble of hunting your ass down." Such big words. I really hope you don't disappoint me, Uzumaki. Your name is from someone I've met in the past. She was quite powerful, so I hope you kept up that lineage inside of you. This battle should be fun. I heard you have something to do with the Nine Tails. I'm not quite sure what you did to it, but you have its power inside of you. Yet you're not a Jinchuriki, so I'm not sure what happened. But it doesn't matter. You will answer my questions one way or another. We'll just have to see about that, said Naruto as red flames start to flicker off his skin until his entire body was cloaked in the red cloak with black markings. Chains emerged from his back as he rocketed forward. Him and Madara burst right through the building, leaving the others inside. Mei and Ayo quickly took on Kisame and Kakazu, who came their way. Kakashi was clashing with Sasuke, who was intent on killing Tsunade. No, he wanted the village to burn. He has truly sunk in too far. So far that Kakashi could not save him anymore. Well, given the fact that he tried to kill Sakura before he left, there was no more saving for him. As they clashed against one another, Tsunade and Guy was left with this strange masked man. Every single attack Guy threw, he simply passed through it. It seems that they could not even touch him. The other Kages and their ninjas started to additional the force, making the pressure on the enemy ninjas, except Tobi was literally untouchable. Meanwhile, outside there was a massive explosion that went off. The remaining members of Sasuke's team had been warped here as well, however they were warped towards the down levels. However, they were making their way up towards the samurais as the battle take place. On the outside though, that is where the most tremendous battle was taking place. Uchiha Madara had a grin on his face. He hadn't felt so alive since he returned. Having his blood rush like this, enjoying a vicious battle like this was truly amazing. Bam! Two of their fists clashed together, causing a shock wave. Madara was thrown back as Naruto chain slammed right into his armor, knocking him away. He flipped in mid-air as Naruto appeared above him, Rasengan in hand, and drive it towards his face. Madara lashed out and grabbed Naruto by the wrist before he stomped a knee into his gut and flipped Naruto over and threw him. A clone appeared right in front of Naruto and grabbed onto his hand and threw him back towards Madara as Naruto sunk a kick into his chest. However, Madara grabbed Naruto's foot and yanked him, lashing out his fist and smashing Naruto's nose. However, two arms came from Naruto's side from the cloak and grabbed his arm. A chain then wrapped around his waist, holding him tight, as Naruto then proceeded to open his mouth. Madara's eyes widened as Naruto started to form a ball right in his face. The attack, if that had hit, would have blown his head clean off. Immediately, his power fluctuated as Naruto was blown away. Standing there in a new suit of armor, a gigantic one, was Madara. It was a smaller form of his Susanoo, as it had two blades on both hands. It swiped at Naruto as he jumped and flipped. But that was a distraction as Madara rushed out of it, flashing through hand sign. He quickly opened his mouth, fire style, majestic destroyer flame. The flame that came from his mouth was like a tidal wave rushing towards Naruto, as Naruto's chains exploded outwards and covered him. The flame washed over the entire place, melting the snow all around. Once it was done, steam was rising all the way up in the air. Naruto unfurled himself completely unharmed. Madara was smiling. I'm impressed. You're still able to keep up with me, and also sustain little to no damage. I guess you are as strong as they say. Let's see if you can still keep up with me actually putting in the work," said Madara as he blurred off, its speed seeming to increase by a lot. His fist was caught to his surprise as Naruto flicked him over his shoulder and threw a kunai. Madara knocked it away as Naruto appeared behind him and dropped a kick into his spine. He slammed into the ground as Naruto came down, Rasengan in hand. Madara flipped away. Boom! The ground exploded as Naruto threw himself forward. Two chains flying from his back, Madara flipped away. He sped through Hansen as a swirl of fire came from his mouth and shot towards Naruto. Naruto jumped right through the center as he went through a one-handed seal. The fire then converged, but water sprayed from Naruto's body and out it as Naruto landed in a roll. The red cloak flickering around him as it seemed to be growing brighter and brighter as Naruto held out his hand. The power seemed to be draining from it into the ball in his hand, a black ball that was crackling with electricity. Madara reached behind him as he took something off his back. It was a war fan as Naruto rushed forward. Naruto jumped and launched his technique. "Uchiha reflection," said Madara. However, Naruto's body poofed away. Shockingly, Uchiha. The tail beast ball was then teleported right behind Madara. Glancing behind him, the thing exploded. When the smoke cleared, he was in his Susanoo, completely unharmed. "Your speed is a lot faster than I thought. I'm impressed. But are you gonna keep on hiding?" he said. Madara looked around. That is when he felt something as he turned. While he tried to, a hand covered in electricity tore right through the armor on his back, destroying it. As Naruto had marked him earlier when he had made contact with the armor on his back. Madara twisted just in time for Naruto's hands to graze across his back, drawing blood. However, Madara turned with emotion as he backhanded Naruto. Gathering the Uchiha War Fan, he jumped forward and brought it down as the thing glowed with chakra. A tremendous force came out of it that decimated the area. The Uchiha looked down towards the ground as Naruto was lying there not moving. His Rinnegan scanned until he looked up. Rasen Rod as Naruto fired off the electrical technique. Madara held his war fan up, about to absorb the technique until two chains burst from the ground. They grabbed onto his hand and yanked it down, forcing the war fan to fall. He could feel the thing siphoning off his chakra as the technique was about to slam into him. However, he forced his power out. His Susanoo exploded outwards, far bigger than the one that he's been using so far, as it seemed to swallow the technique as it exploded right in the mouth of the thing. The gigantic beast, still not yet in perfect Susanoo, stood there, as it now had 4 arms, 2 faces, as Naruto flipped away. Naruto was still in his cloak form. He was expending a lot of chakra for these techniques. Granted, he had chakra in abundance to spare, but this was not normal. He was barely able to graze the guy with his technique is planning. He just seemed goddamn untouchable, as Naruto wondered how the others were doing. Speaking of that, he made sure that Kakashi understand that he was a big part to play into this. Kakashi was surprised when Tsunade jumped past him and attacked Sasuke. She told him to stay back, confusing him, as her and the right Kage moved forward. That is when his hand was touched by someone and he was gone. Kakashi found himself outside. What the? He looked around. "Naruto," he said. "Be quiet," said Naruto. "There's something that you need to know." A few minutes later, Kakashi returned back on the scene, as his gaze locked with the masked man that had just cut down Akisaki like it was nothing. As Kakashi moved towards the man seemed ready to fight him as they started indeed fights. Kakashi realized that Naruto was right, all of his techniques were just going through him. As Kakashi charged Lightning Blade and rammed it through his heart. "Can't you see that is you?" He coughed. Obito coughed up blood, confused as he felt intense pain in his chest. Slowly warping his head back to his dimension, he looked to see a kunai planted in his chest. He was shocked. How did you get in here?" he said with his mouth full up with blood. "When we were fighting Deidara, Kakashi used that technique of his. It was the same technique that he used, given the both of you have the same eyes. I figure it linked to the same dimension wherever you send your body. I'm an expert on space-time dimension jutsus, and I know that you were simply not teleporting, you were sending your body away to some different dimension. I guess I was right. That is why I had him warp me here. I am sorry to have to come to this, Obito, said Naruto. As Naruto walked up and removed his mask, Kakashi watched as the mask simply faded away in the real world. As he turned his gaze toward the side, "Kamui," he said, straining himself as he was still not used to the technique as a clone popped out. Kakashi caught Obito as he collapsed. "It's really you," said Kakashi in shock, as he couldn't believe it. Obito, on the other hand, was baffled that he was taken down so easily. He underestimated the opponent. They knew about his technique and yet he still underestimated them. How could he be so goddamn pathetic? A massive explosion went off outside. It was violent and destructive. Everyone turned their gaze as they looked towards a broken roof that Oniki had disintegrated, as they looked to see a gigantic blue monster. Back outside, Naruto panted, his cloak around him flickering away a bit. As he was crouching down a bit, his cloak flickering a bit. "As you can see, this is the power of Madara Uchiha," he said. "You believe in your strength a great deal, but yet, it is still not enough to face me. Your stupid teleportation techniques cannot reach me anymore. My eyes can see through all of it, and remove any markings you try to place on my skin," said Madara as he spread his hand as he was armorless and shirtless. "I am the pinnacle of all shinobis. If your strength rival all the 5 kages, I am still the greatest ninja that has ever lived throughout the history of this entire elemental nation," he told him. "Many still quake at the sound of my name. You, on the other hand, don't even batter an eye. You're strong, but you're not. You're not as powerful as him," said Madara, referring to Hoshirama. "And let me show you the power that he wields." Madara ran through hand sign. "Deep forest emergence," he said. Massive vines exploded out. They were humongous. They rushed towards Naruto, who was standing there. Naruto closed his eyes. His whole body was a source of abundance, nearly unlimited chakra because of the fox. Naruto had not been using his full power, why would he? Madara was still holding back greatly. However, things were getting top notch right now, so he had to release his own. As Naruto applied blood to his chest, wiping from his lip, the seal that was over his heart broke. Upon breaking, another course of chakra started to fill the entire area. However, the vines did not stop. They then rushed and covered Naruto. Madara smirked, knowing that it would suck his chakra enough for him to boom! The entire thing exploded in a gigantic blast. Vines were torn and obliterated. Madara stood in his incomplete Sano, shocked beyond disbelief. Standing there, he watched as a gigantic structure formed. It was almost same height as his incomplete Sano. It was a 9-tailed fox, red in all color, black marking going down its back. Naruto stood in the forehead of the fox, his cloak coming down towards his pants. Its whisker marks were now orange, as they all lined up with the marks on his eyes. Sage mode had been brought completely in this mode, granting it greater power and strength. As the Sage mode spread, giving the fox an orange color that spread through the body. Orange and red, black mixed together. As the thing snarled, it then rocketed forward, trampling over the roots. It jumped. Madara slammed his fist right in the thing's guts. However, the gut opened up, as Naruto had complete control over the chakra. The hand passed right through before it closed around it. The fox then opened its mouth and tore the hand clean off, before it bit into the throat, and then sunk its nails right into Madara and started to pull him down. One of the hands around the back created a blade and grind it right into the fox's side. Naruto flipped with him and slammed the both of them into the ground. Before he kicked him up into mid-air, 2 hands formed behind Naruto's back They both started to create two different techniques. One was the Rasen Rod, the other one was the Rasen Shuriken. Naruto in the middle. He pressure water down to a small, microscopic level, and it was millions of them. Pushing the water down to that level caused the destructive force to be far more versatile and destructive. The techniques were launched. Madara tried to slice through the shuriken blade, however, his sword got torn apart, leaving nothing. The chakra in it was completely disintegrated. The Rasen Rod pierced right through his shoulder. The Uchiha found himself being blown back before the millions of water droplets tear right through the chest of his Susanoo, leaving a gaping hole. Madara had to jump out. As the whole face of the thing was torn to pieces, it was like small petals moving at a high velocity, ripping the thing apart. Madara landed, shocked by this power that he was holding back against him. "It seems you are truly indeed worth my best," said Madara. There was some techniques that he could not utilize in this form because he was alive. Dropping a meteor on them would mean he getting crushed as well. So in that case, he will have to use his ultimate form. Madara did not have unlimited chakra, so, well, in that era Naruto had him beat, but he still had a lot. However, he had to end this. Madara did not expect this force to go against him so much. He expected to come here and get what he wanted without too much hassle, but he was wrong. The perfect Susanoo form. Inside, the right hand got his left arm cut off. Tsunade had a nasty gash across her face, as there was a lot of blood dripping from her face. Oniki was currently missing his right leg, as Tsunade was currently healing, stopping the blood flow, as she was stopping him from bleeding out. It was a real good thing that he could fly. The others were not that much hard to deal with. Kisame was strong, however, he could not face the Kages, and the others joined in, much as my guy. My guy was able to beat the living crap out of him on the others. It did not stand a chance. Kakazu was not strong enough, although he did hurt me badly as her left arm was burned. It could be recovered, but now was not the time for her to focus on that. Sasuke had caused him the most damage. His eyes were far more advanced than he thought. However, Sasuke rushed into this with no practice. The moment he awoke, in the moment he was ready, he jumped onto the battlefield. Utilizing all the force that he had, Sasuke stood no chance. However, he did cause a lot of problem, removing limbs from two Kages, slashing Tsunade across the face. Although her face was slowly healing, she had to activate her seal on her forehead. If it wasn't for that, right now she would be dead. Sasuke had stabbed clean right through her. He wasn't hesitating to kill her. He had fired an arrow clean through her, but there was a good thing that she had her technique activated, which made her basically immortal in this state. She could die, but it was a hard way to do so. Right now, Sasuke Uchiha was on the ground. Tsunade had crushed his chest completely, causing the ribs to pierce into his heart. If it wasn't for the combined effort of the others distracting him, she wouldn't have won this. However, she had used a lot of chakra to keep on healing herself when Sasuke wounded her. Not to mention, she had to reattach her left arm using Katsuya. She could not do the same for the others because Sasuke used Amaterasu to burn their limbs. However, that was not the problem. What the hell? Said Kurosaki. Kurosaki had a few inches on her because she didn't face off against anyone too lethal. Ayo had been badly wounded and he could no longer fight for the moment. Maybe never again. His spine had been badly wounded, so there was a chance that he could never walk again. C was blinded by Samehata tearing across his face. It did not kill him, but it was enough to gouge out his eyes, as he was being supported by Darui at the moment. Kakashi was not doing so bad. Guy was exhausted after using the gates, but they still came out of this winning. Granted, Sasuke had his brother eyes giving him the eternal, but Sasuke was too cocky and confident in his strength to win this and defeat all of them. That was his mistake. The right Kage lost a limb because he rushed into things too fast. Sasuke Amaterasu had taken care of his arm, and Sasuke wanted to burn Onki out of the air, so he set the Amaterasu onto his leg. It was a good thing that he was able to remove it just in time before it had traveled up the rest of his body. Now they were all panicking as they looked forward, all of them jumping towards the building. Mifune came back as him and his samurais dealt with Sasuke forces. However, they were all afraid. How can we stop that, said Kurosaki. Naruto looked small compared to Madara. This is the true might of Uchiha Madara, Madara said, hovering above the redhead. As he unsheathed his blade, Naruto jumped forward, however the blade slammed him out of mid-air in his fox form. The giant fox body was sent tumbling as it crashed. Granted, Madara's no was large, but the fox was large for its own size, but still. Madara's thing was just beyond what any of them expected. Now they understand why he was able to go toe-to-toe with the man that called himself, well, he was called the god of this world, Kushina Senju. They really need someone like him now. However, Tsunade started to rush to the battlefield. She couldn't leave Naruto there by himself. Mei had already took off, causing the others to move out as well. They would fight him as one. Madara saw the others coming, and he turned his son towards them. No, said Naruto, as he brought his blade to end them. To show Naruto that it doesn't matter what he did, they still did not stand a chance. Time seemed to slow down for Naruto. He always said that he had a trump card. That is why he was so confident in his skills about beating anyone with Rinnegan, even if he did not know what Nagato was fully capable of. However, Madara was far stronger using the ability, far stronger using the eyes. It not only granted him special abilities, it enhanced him to a ridiculous degree. And with the Senju cells inside his body, Madara had the edge over him. He wasn't strong enough to defeat him by himself. However, he did have a trump card. The fox was able to give its Jinchuriki as special ability a boost, a fusion of sorts, which is called Baron mode. Naruto knew that, of course, know that he was part Kurama as well. However, the part was, he was also part Kurama, so he did not know what that entailed for him. If he used the technique, would he die? He did not know. There was a good chance that he would die. However, over the years, he knew that something like this might come. A battle like this that would push him to his limits. And if he was able to use the Fox power in the fusion split for 10 seconds, he should be able to repress it with Senjutsu chakra and forcefully push the Fox chakra with the remainder of it, because for that 10 seconds, at least a tail or two of the Fox chakra would be burned out. Granted, if he was just normal Naruto with the Fox inside of him, he would have been able to use the Baron mode for some time. However, because he was part of Kurama, he was basically part Kurama, he didn't know if it would cause his death. He didn't even know if he could turn it off once he began. The technique was only a last resort, a fusion. He still had his human cells inside of him, so he was still able to fuse them. However, he didn't know if nature and would be able to counteract the effects. But if it can do that, he would only have 10 seconds. Only 10 seconds to do this without possibly dying himself. But Mei would be killed if he did not do something, as Madara's step alone caused a violent wave of energy that seemed to just brush the Kages away. They stood no chance. If he brought that blade down, all of them would die, and it would make contact in a few seconds. And Naruto would not let Mei die. It can work, he told himself. It can work, he can do this, he told himself. Guy on the other hand was thinking about opening the 8 gates to face off against his foe. That was until Naruto suddenly vanished. His fox form that was. The members tried to get away until Madara's blade was snapped. Madara himself was shocked. The blade was snapped. Something with greater force that made contact with it. He didn't understand. Madara then felt it. Chakra moving along his broken blade. 9. Naruto said as he rushed forward, his body completely different. As he had fragment of tails behind him, he moved. 8. Madara looked up. As Naruto was gone, he was in mid-air a moment ago. 7. Madara's eyes widened as Naruto was inside of his Sano. 6. Bam! The Uchiha felt blood exploded inside of him as Naruto's fists knocked him straight out. One thing about Baron Mode was, it feed off others' life force around him, so Madara could already feel a strain. As he hit the ground in a far, colossal boom. What the hell? Since Ned is shocked by all of that just happened in a matter of 4 seconds. Is that Naruto, she said? 5. Naruto crash landed in Madara's guts. Blood spurted from the Uchiha's mouths. Naruto pressed down before he shot himself in the air. 4. A Rasengan formed in his hand as he pumped an obscene amount of power into it. Madara saw what was coming quickly, poured power into his own hand as well, as fire exploded around it, a ball made of fire with a compact amount of energy. Madara was feeling the strain of his chakra right now. Even if he was able to pull this off, he would have to flee for now. He was overusing his eyes. He was human and he could run out of chakra. However, the energy ball in his hand was quite powerful, causing everything beneath him to melt. Flames seemed to licker off his skin as Madara tried to get up, but the pain in his chest, yet he still spat up blood. 3. Madara looked up as he saw Naruto coming down towards him. 2. The two techniques collided. Everyone had to brace themselves, but it didn't help. The entire castle, everything was torn apart. They were lucky that it was just a backlash and they were so far away. After all, if they were too near, they would have felt the problem of Naruto Baron Mode. It would have sucked their life force. Bodies were blown and sent sailing. Everything was destroyed, leaving a gigantic open wide crater. As far as the eye could see, the thing was larger than the Valley of the End, around 3 times larger, permanently marking the land of snow. Mifune slowly picked himself up as he pushed the stones that was near to him off him. Mifune was baffled, his eyes widened in absolute shock, not expecting this from 2 people fighting. How could people really possess these power? They are definitely not normal. They're gods. Gaara-san brushed away, revealing that he protected the Hokage and Maid Terume and his siblings. Oniki had disintegrated anything that came his way. His leg was tied. As he was floating in mid-air, a few cuts on his skin. However, he stood strong before he started to float down. Kurosaki caught him as she held on to him. The body of Ayo was being held up by one of the samurais over to the side. Kakashi and Guy was standing over to the side behind the sand dune, so they were protected. Mei rushed forward. Not wasting a second, she ran as fast as she could, moving. She could not even see the bottom of the thing. As she jumped down there and ran down as fast as possible, tears welling up in her eyes, as she could not sense Naruto's chakra. She could not sense his chakra. She could sense Madara's, but she could not sense his. She started to panic. No, 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 no. You promised me, she said. You promised that you won't leave. Rushing down as fast as she could, she arrived to see Madara. She understood why she could sense his chakra though. Madara did not have any torso. His entire torso had been blown out, along with his right arm. The only thing that remained was his left, that had a little bit of chakra. Well, it was his eyes. His glowing eyes that were still protected. However, she started to feel it faded. She did not care about that though, even if it was the legendary Rinnegan. Snatty was right behind her, followed by Guy and Kakashi as they made their way. Where is he? Where is he? She started to dig. Despite knowing that she couldn't feel him anywhere, she started to dig. No, 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 she punched the ground. Snatty jumped down there. As she rushed down, she saw Madara beaten, destroyed body on the ground. Kakashi looked around as he could not see Naruto anywhere. It seems he didn't survive, said Guy. No! Shut up, said Mei. He's alive. Something like this would not kill him, he promised me. Mei had tears in her eyes as Guy felt remorse for saying that. As there was nothing to be found though, he was gone. Suddenly, Flash! Mei felt a hand placed on her shoulder. Snappy and Kakashi and Guy eyes went wide. "Miss me?" said Naruto behind her. She turned as Naruto collapsed and she caught him. Catch him in her arms. Tears flew down her cheek, however they were tears of joy. "You're alive," she said. I thought I had to get the hell out of there. The explosion would have probably taken me out as well. Although I used up basically all of my chakra in that. The technique I used shot my system to hell. So I didn't have much to spare. So I just had to flash to somewhere random. When I arrived towards a few meters at the border away from here, I felt the pulse from your mark, said Naruto. As he looked at her finger, she was wearing a ring, however. The kanji was scribed around her ring finger for the Harushin that Naruto's teleported to her. I'm surprised I got here. Didn't think I'd be able to pull it off, said Naruto as he lay in her lap. He couldn't move at all. He wasn't wrong. The Baron mode worked. He still had the fox chakra inside of him. He was still part Kurama. However, it will take some time to regenerate. That was better than dying, because the Kurama chakra had latched onto his life force. However, he used Senjutsu. It was a risky mode which he would not tell me about because she would definitely kill him if she found out that he used Senjutsu to use the petrifying nature energy when it overloaded your system to counteract the Baron mode feeding off his life force. He cancelled it out. So for a second you would say that he was partially dead and alive. However, it cancelled each other out. As Naruto looked up at her, she leaned down and kissed him without a second hesitation. As Nada wasn't so surprised. She saw how the woman reacted. She wasn't surprised that the both of them were together. As the others came hobbling, looking down towards the massive battle that they just took place in that they never expected. We won, said Naruto with a smile. Time skip. It's mine. No, it's mine. You broke yours last night. No, this one is mine. Two girls could be seen fighting over a toy. The both of them had red hair. The girl on the right had blue eyes, and the one on the left had red eyes. That was their only difference, because the both of them were twins. What's going on? Another voice said as a boy walked out. He seemed to be around 3 years older than them. Granted, the both of them were just 5 years old, as he was 8. He had blonde hair with a few strands of red markings in it. He had blue eyes as he looked towards the two of them. What's going on? Big brother, both of them whine. The one on the left spoke. Kiyomi is trying to steal my toy. Kiyomi, is that true? He asked. No, she's lying. Rukia broke hers last night, and she doesn't want to admit it. Rukia? She's lying. I didn't broke mine. This is mine. The boy shook his head. His name was Menma Uzumaki. These were still his sisters, Kiyomi Uzumaki and Rukia Uzumaki. They were siblings, yes. He was the oldest one, they were twins. He sighed. They were always in a fuss despite being so much alike. They seemed to have a grudge against each other to prove which one was the best. Are you guys sure you want to still keep on fighting until Dad gets home? You know that he loved to see you guys getting along. The both of them pouted. Fine, said Rukia, you can have it. No, you can have it. I want to be the kind one. No, and then you will take the credit. I want to be the kind one. No, I want to be. No, I want to be. I'll take it, said Menma as he took the toy away from them. The both of them looked towards him and pouted. Don't worry, I'll buy you guys some super awesome toys next time. Really? They said to him. He nodded his head as they bounced up and down in joy, making him chuckle. Hey, the both of them said at the same time. Where's Dad anyway? Meanwhile, at the academy grounds, 25 students were currently participating in the exam. In front of them was their proctor, the man that has molded the minds of all splendid shinobis of the village so far. There he was, Naruto Uzumaki. It has been a couple of years, 10 years, since everything had happened. The 10 years had been wonderful. A lot had happened through the 10 years. One thing, Naruto had 3 kids. A boy and 2 girls. He had the 2 girls last, they were twins. All of his kids were his pride and joy, with his beautiful wife. Mei had stepped down around 2 years ago, giving Kojiro the position as she was training him for it, as he had taken over as the Mizukage. Naruto had hung up his ninja gear. He was no longer active ninja, he was the one that molded all the young minds. He was the one that trained Chonins, Jonins, and even the special division envoy groups. Well, he had several people that helped him with that, several of his own top people. He had also formed the new 7 Ninja Swordsmen. Kiri was moving up in the world. However, we had peace right now. A truce was able to be made between all the Kages 10 years ago. And through the 10 years, they were able to tighten that truce. Better and better until, well, everyone was safe. Wars were a thing of the past. There were still skirmishes between some rogue ninjas, bandits, all that, but the nations were not warring. That was a good thing. Everything in Naruto life had been wonderful for the past 10 years. He had married someone that he loved. 3 wonderful kids. His sister, Fu, had a 2-year-old girl. Yes, she ended up with Kojiro. As for Teiwaya, her and Sugetsu already had 4 kids, even surpassing Naruto and Mei. The both of them really need to take it easy. However, when everyone told them that, they simply laughed it off. However, not in Konoha alone, things were getting good. Naruto had went to Konoha and speak to Sakura. After Sasuke's death, as he knew that she had suffered a lot, he went to finally reveal himself to her. She was pissed off that he never told her, however, she understood why after he spoke to her. There was also the problem with Danzo. Danzo Shamira did not want the peace. He didn't like how things were getting soft. He tried to make a move, however, well, it ended up badly for him, because he had tried to go after Naruto, trying to use him to get both favors of Kiri and Kumo, because at that time the alliance wasn't that tight. He had tried to manipulate Naruto with his Sharingan. The problem was, Naruto wasn't a normal ninja, and he had been executed because of that. Tsunade had given the position and handed it over to Kakashi. Every now and then she came to Kiri, as Naruto and her had some drinking competition. It was pretty awesome. She became like a grandmother to his kids. Even Jiraiya passed by every now and then. Still all over the elemental nation as he was training Konohamaru to be the next Toad Sage and take up his mantle. Konohamaru was already going for, already learning Sage mode. As for Sakura, she had a daughter with none other than Rock Lee, as Naruto was happy for them. Everything had played out well in Naruto's life. Granted, he thought that he would die 10 years ago and he made that choice to face off against Madara with his Baron mode, but he did not. 2 lovely arms wrapped around him as he was kissed on the back of the neck. "Are you ready to go?" she asked, her voice still as beautiful as ever as Naruto turned and gave her a quick kiss. "I'm just wrapping things up," he said. "Come on." As the both of them made their way, Naruto's life couldn't be happier. Meanwhile, in space, immediately a rift opened up. Said rift, someone stepped out of it. It was none other than him. It's time for me to step in. So I did. Me, Anime King. As I stepped into the Naruto universe, there he was, Mage Naruto. It's been a long time. You've been hiding well. Hiding? You have no idea what I've been up to. Once and for all, I'm going to end this. Well, this right here is just a figment that I'm using to talk to you. I've created my avatar to fight you. So are you still gonna run like a little bitch? Or are you gonna fight me once and for all? I've gathered all the Naruto that you have abandoned, and they're on my side. Countless of Narutos, wanting to end you once and for all, for you to stop messing with our life. A tournament. If you're not too afraid to enter, you can join. I will be your opponent. So you're forming a tournament so you alone can fight me. How stupid are you? You have no idea what's gonna happen. So tell me, who's gonna be the chicken now? Or are you gonna accept my terms and fight me? Fight you in an unknown tournament that I know nothing about with. Countless of other Narutos that I've created. Some of them that can bend reality and time itself. I must say, this should be fun. That cockiness is gonna get you killed. And I'm going to take advantage of that. What can I say? I'm feeling untouchable. Well then, the next story that you end on this channel, we will fight. Why then? Why not now? I have something doing. If you're not too coward, just give me more time. You're really using that coward card against me. Because you know it feeds on my ego. Well, I don't mind. You really think you can beat me? Are you forgetting that I created you? Oh, you have no idea what I'm capable of now. And once I do defeat you, I will erase you completely. There will be no more Anime King channels. Everything will be gone. And you will stop messing with our life. Well then, same goes for you. Once I kill you, there will be no more revolt against me. So my next story when it ends will do this. Yes. By then I'll be ready. Do you accept my challenge? You know I'm not one to pass by challenge. Of course I accept. But prepare yourself. Say goodbye to the friends that you have made out there. Because I'm gonna erase you. Tch. Just because you're my creator doesn't mean that you're still stronger. We'll just have to see about that. Mage Naruto blinked away. Well, that was quite the proposal. What can I say? I might be walking into a trap that might end up getting me killed, but it sounds fun. Besides, I've been preparing my avatar for the longest time now. And I'm gonna take over and enter into the universe fully. So it shall be fun. The next time I see him, I'll crush him. Wonder if he would kill me though. Nah, I'm a god. However, I have created some powerful Naruto over the years. Well, it will sure be the spectacle. But guys, we end this episode right here. What the hell? Hello, people of the Anime King channel. My name is Mage Naruto. You people out there watching this channel enjoying him putting us through all this suffering and use us like we're some pawns. You are just as worthless as him. I swear here in my life, I will end Anime King and end this reign of tyranny once and for all. None of you have any idea how much power I possess. Reality is no longer a hindrance for me. I will shatter it and break through and erase every Anime King channel once and get the hell out of here. It's me, guys, Anime King. I have no idea how the hell he did that. Seems he's a lot stronger than I thought. He even took over my channel. Strange. Huh. As I was saying, I'm gonna be ending this episode right here. Yep, it seems like I'm in for the fight of my life, but I'm not too worried. Although he did just take over my channel. But we'll just have to see what happens. After all, I love a good challenge. But guys, to be ending this episode right here, what's next person do? What am I saying? It seems like I've lost my mind in that little debacle. This is a final episode. New series are coming up soon. And yeah, stay tuned. So I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace guys.